Okay, we're getting a lot of intelligence from the ground up in KZN. So first of all, just want to reach out to everyone up in KZN. The intelligence is basically this: there's about to be some pretty violent activity up there. We don't know exactly when, but you can be assured with the ongoing load shedding and things getting worse that KZN is not a place that you want to be. If you do have to stay there, you're going to have to protect yourself, secure. We just we don't feel good about it. So just a quick update on that. Now let's talk about ESCOM for a minute. It's been a very long semi weekend, and we thought we could get through the weekend and not have any more drama, but the drama continues. And I owe it to the South African people to kind of, I guess, get a little more brutally direct with you about what to expect, because that's what you keep asking. Look, I have to repeat this because we have a lot of new participants. Bear with me for those that have been with us for a while. In 2019, we got involved officially. I've been involved for over 30 years in the energy sector in South Africa. Has been, in my sphere for quite some time. But in
People
2019, we
detected
came in and we
in-house.
did what we call the CRO, Chief Restructuring Officer Analysis reports on ESCOM and South Africa Treasury. Because really they're one. ESCOM's dead as South Africa's dead. We made it clear in 2019 to the government that ESCOM was essentially done, officially done. They were operationally broke, they were financially broke, and they were morally corrupt, and the criminal syndicates had taken over the place. And that went all the way up to the government top. That goes all the way to the top and goes all the way to the bottom. It's 100% corrupt, top to bottom. The South African government refused to listen to what was told to them, what was recommended to them in 2019 and 2020, 2021 and 22, and now we're in 2023. My friends, my fellow South Africans, I'm going to give it to you straight. There is no salvation coming, okay? There is no salvation coming. The power plants at ESCOM are in, they're too far gone. Now, I know that we're hearing chatter out there that I've heard all this storyline that, it could be fixed in 3 months, 6 months. That's complete bullshit. I've been doing this almost 35 years. Nobody's going to fix ESCOM in 3 to 6 months. ESCOM is a 10-year project at a minimum. So I want to be blunt with you. I want to be brutally blunt with you. Okay? The South African media is not going to tell you the straight story. The government's not going to tell you the straight story, and all the bullshit energy analysts out there, except Ted Blum. Ted Blum is the only one that talks straight in South Africa. We vetted him heavily. Everyone else is full of shit. They're all pitching renewables underneath the table. That's their deal. So let me be clear. It's going to get ugly, okay? We gave the country formal notice. We did a public press release just to ensure that every South African had a chance to see it on October 26th, 2022. And we declared a state of emergency in the South African energy market. And we said stage 8 or worse load shedding was coming. And we gave details about it. Once again, your government and the criminal syndicates and their enablers, brushed it under the table. And, South Africa now is on the verge of, collapse. Let me tell you what we're going to have to do. Okay, let me cut to the chase. When village idiots are intent on burning the place down, you just have to let them burn it down. Let me tell you why. Not that I want anybody to get hurt. We're not saying that. What we're saying is you cannot, look, I control a tremendous amount of money, influence, and let's just say my voice means a tremendous amount when it comes to the international investors and the people that matter for South Africa. The message to them has been pens down right now, because we can't touch this. Cannot touch it. You gotta let the idiots burn the place down, so to speak, and collapse before we can actually do the work. The reason is they refuse to listen. Your government The South African government refuses to listen. And I'm going to tell you once again, for the new viewers who haven't paid attention, the renewable energy, COP27, is all bullshit, and it's all wrought with fraud. And number two, it wouldn't help South Africa for many, many, many years. I said it a few weeks back to everyone. We'd have to build 125,000 megawatts of renewable energy, solar and wind, which is about 20 to 25% capacity factor, to even make a dent in the problem here, okay? And it's not even reliable, it's intermittent. South Africa needs baseload generation. Now, the Chinese over the last 2 to 3 years built 300 coal plants, and they've got many more already built, and they're building more. So let's cut the bullshit. South Africa has to stay with their coal plants, but it needs to be run properly by professionals like myself and others inside and outside of South Africa. Okay, coal is not the problem. It's the people that are running the show and stealing everything and destroying everything and not running the emissions right that are the problem. So South Africa has to stay with coal, but it has to have adult supervision in there, both inside South Africa and outside South Africa. Now, let me tell you why I'm comfortable with letting the house collapse, because it's going to collapse. There's not much I can do, no matter how much power I have, because we've assembled a group heavily centered on South African expertise to basically step in when the time comes. Some of these people are in their 70s, some are in their 40s, but you know what? They know what to do. We know what to do. But we're not going to touch it until the village idiots are out of the way. So, pardon my rudeness. The village idiots are your government and their enablers, the criminal syndicates and the energy analysts who've been propping them up and pitching this renewable bullshit. Okay? There's no IPP portfolio that's going to save South Africa right now. I do this. This is what I do. Trust me. You don't believe me? Go research it and figure it out for yourself. But I'm telling you right now, it's getting bad and it's going to get worse. And you got to buckle down. But you have to know that we're going to rebuild. But we're not going to rebuild with your crooked government. And we're not going to rebuild with the crooks and the corrupt syndicates. Now, we're in process of setting up a control room, control center, and a war room, kind of the same. The location and the details will be heavily private, but it will be with the industry executives and professionals that matter in South Africa, the ones that are not corrupt. And with the executives that we're bringing in that are basically in the country, that know how to do these things with us, we'll start to put together the plan. Let's call it the shadow energy and infrastructure apparatus for South Africa, for lack of better terms. Okay? In the meantime, things are getting bad and they're going to get worse. And I really worry about the KZN citizens because things are going to get ugly up there. We're really concerned that place just blows up. Now, I'm not saying it's not the riots aren't going to push down into Gauteng and all the way down to the Cape. I'm saying it's going to start up in KZN, and we're very concerned because we're going well above stage 8 load shedding in South Africa. It's just a matter of, when, right? It could be tomorrow, could be next week, but we're already well into stage 7. Stage 6 is bullshit. The way they're rotating the switch gear, you're really already well into stage 7 load shedding, okay, my fellow South Africans. So it's a sad state of affairs, but I'm telling you, this is the only way. You got to let the idiots just collapse the country, and then the people are going to have to sweep in. And then you have to understand that there are professionals who really will help and really will do the right thing for the country. And primarily based on South African talent. Okay, I mean, clearly you have to have people like me and others because this is, we got to bring a ton of money in, but we're not bringing a dime in right now. We're not bringing a dime in. And this bullshit about, all this debt that the ANC and their criminal corrupt syndicates want to put on the South African government's books under the guise of green energy, it doesn't matter. It's all going to collapse on everybody anyway. Nobody's putting $1 of equity to work. Trust me. I know everybody. Okay, if I don't know them, I know of them, and I know what they're doing. We made it our business to know everything. Now, that's where we are. Now, this is Sunday morning. It's early. I got up to tell you this because it's getting ugly and we're getting the feedback, and I want everybody to be prepared. So I don't want anybody to say you didn't give us the straight story. I'm giving it to you as bluntly as possible. Buckle up. You know, you need to be prepared to defend your home too. I'm going to tell you right now. You know, when they kick your door in, looting and pillaging, they're not, you know what it's like. You saw what happened in KZN. So you need to buckle up, and all of the farm watch people, all of the neighborhood watch people, the security apparatus better start getting ready, because 15 hours a day of load shedding or more means nothing but bad things for South Africa. That's all I can tell you right now, my friends. I am as destitute about the situation in South Africa as anybody. But, you know, we've got to, and you've got to get rid of these criminal syndicates and this criminal cabal government. But you know what? They're not going to go willingly, so let them burn the place down, and then you put your foot in their ass on the way out, because they're going to take the country down one way or the other. And you might as well just let them do it faster, sooner rather than later, so we don't drag this on and death by a thousand cuts. Okay? That's kind of where it is. Let me deal with the U.S. and Europe. I have the ability to cut back on a lot of that bullshit debt. I'll deal with that. You deal with staying safe and working with the industry professionals that really do want to help South Africa. God bless South Africa. We'll talk to you soon. Share the message. And look, pardon my French. You know, I only know one way. Tell you how it is and tell you straight. And, you know, I despise as a human being people that sell out their country. And you got a lot of people in South Africa that sold out their country. Black, white, Indian, and Asian. It's not a color thing. They're just bad people up here, and they're bullshit. So, you know, you can judge who they are. I'll tell you who they are as we go forward. But, you know, you need to understand you've been sold out. So buckle up. Let's be safe. But it's going to get ugly. God bless you. God bless South Africa. Sorry to give you an early morning message, but that's where we are. KZN, be very careful.